So, 2XKO is almost here, or when you're watching this it's probably already out. Riot's new League of Legends fighting game. We've been waiting for years, it looks amazing, it plays amazing, fast-paced, tag-based, rollback, netcode, everything you want, at least on paper. But there's one thing that's been bugging me a bit lately, and that's honestly the size of the launch roster.
Get a fire going?
Right now 2XKO is only dropping with 10 characters, and yeah, I think that is a bit of a problem. So, let's talk about it. 2XKO is a 2v2 tag fighter. So you pick 2 characters, your opponent picks 2 characters. That means every single match is using, potentially 4 different characters. That means half of the entire roster could be in one game. Almost. Of course, you will see multiple different pairings and even same pairings, but when you're working with only 10 characters, variety takes a bit of a hit. Matchups, team synergy, counter picks, it's all limited with only 10 characters. So there's not as much room for discovery. So that's where my worry comes in. The game might feel stale faster than expected. It might get solved faster than expected. And it might get boring faster than expected. And that's a real risk unless new content starts dropping fast. Now don't get me wrong, they have done a seriously great job with the characters. Everyone feels unique, plays unique. No 2 characters feel the same, I would say, and that is without going to Teemo, who is completely out there, and not talking about the art, which is amazing. But if you compare 2XKO to its competition, you start feeling like it's entering the ring a little underprepared. Street Fighter 6 launched with 18 characters, that's nearly double 2XKO, and it's a 1v1 game. You only see 2 characters per match, not 4. Tekken 8 launched with a massive 32 characters, that's 3 times bigger. Even back in the day, Marvel vs. Capcom 3 launched with a massive roster, and it's also a tag game. Dragon Ball FighterZ launched with 24 characters back in the day, and it's also a tag fighter. All of these games give you a lot more tools to experiment, with characters to experiment with, from day one. And in a genre where character choice defines your playstyle, limits your combos, and impacts your strategy, that's a pretty big deal. Now, to be fair, Riot has talked about their plans. They're promising 4 to 5 new characters per year. That's almost one every couple months.
Every year will be made up of 5 seasons, and each season will come with a new champion and other in-game content.
Which, if they actually pull it off, would be a really good pace. And they have talked about wanting to have quality over quantity, which I can respect. Making sure each champion feels unique, true to their league identity, and mechanically interesting. And that makes perfect sense. And look, if they deliver on the 5 characters per year or something, and they are consistent quality, this might all seem like a silly worry in a couple of years, when 10 heroes becomes 15, then 20, and suddenly the roster is massive, and in 10 years we have 50 characters and everything is crazy, and people will laugh at me for talking about having 2 little characters in the beginning. Plus, in League of Legends there's a tons of characters, tons of lore, art, and characters to take inspiration from and to create, so you wouldn't think that's an issue. But let's go a bit to the past. 2XKO was announced around the same time as Valorant. Valorant released, got a full esports ecosystem, added a bunch of agents, maps, modes, and it's now basically a long-term esports title. It's been around forever. Meanwhile, 2XKO is just now launching. And after all this wait, we are getting 10 characters at launch. It feels a bit underwhelming, for the lack of a better word. Now, I'm not saying they have been sitting around doing nothing. Clearly, the game is polished, and the production is great, the animation is gorgeous, and the gameplay is tight. But the expectations from a Riot-level production is higher, especially after so many years of dev time. The discovery part of a fighting game is the most fun part, at least to me. So, day one labbing, figuring out team synergy, weird matchups, broken mechanics, but that magic fades pretty quickly if you have seen everything in a few days of grinding, especially now that we have played most of the characters in the closed beta. Will the game actually, last as long? Will things settle to a meta way too fast? I'm just worried Everyone finds the OP duo with the OP combo and spams that. Casuals get bored before the first patch even is out, and everyone leaves. That's what I'm worried about. It's not just not the character count, it's about the player retention. The first few weeks, few months set the tone, and 2XKO hopefully hits the ground running. So yeah, I'm really excited for 2XKO. I want it to succeed. We need more great fighting games, but I can't help but to worry about this tiny roster. Slightly, at least. I don't want it to slow down momentum before it even really gets going. Hopefully I'm wrong about this, and maybe I'm unnecessarily harsh. After all, this is a free-to-play fighting game. I'm complaining about something that usually, their competition charges $60, and we are getting it for free. So maybe, a small roster is expected. Though, of course, we are not having any single-player content, really. There's no story mode, no arcade, really. Not yet, at least. So it's hard to say, is the small roster justified? But maybe it's silly, I'm complaining about a free game that is not giving me enough free stuff. Give me more free stuff! But yeah, guys, let me know, am I crazy? Am I being too harsh here? Are you cool with 10 characters at launch? Or does it feel a bit too light for a tag-based fighter especially? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Like and subscribe for all the fighting game content you want. And I'll catch you guys next time.
Chin check!